So in this video, I'm going to show you how I've gone from rusty, old and sloppy, not me, the 3-point linkage on the tractor, to nice and tight and shiny. Little trick I use just to reuse the old parts, reclaim them rather than scrapping them. So if you want to know how I've done it, have a look, see what you reckon. Maybe give a comment or two. Anyway, have a look. Look at that. Right, seeing as how all of us are made of money and just love throwing it around, well, we ain't, are we? We're pretty, I don't know about you, but sort of live on, you know, hand to mouth sort of thing around here. Anyway, so most of the stuff I do, I try to recycle or fix it. So these are the old lower arms off of one of the tractors that I've got, and I'm going to the field days next week. Taking 2 tractors and implement a grading blade. So I've got to put these on the tractor I restored, but they are sloppy as, they're like pricking a shirt sleeve to coin a phrase. Anyway, so rather than just chucking them on like that, which is going to be all rattly and horrible and not very nice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in a grease nipple for a start. It's the first thing I do while it's sloppy, and then I'm going to cut a slot in these, take a bit of material out and close them up, just so it's just nice and, you know, a little bit of resistance, not too much, and then weld it up, grind it up, and you'll never know. So I'll do that on both ends. I've got 4 ends to do, and I've also got the top link to do as well, which I've just started. I've already tightened it up. I'll just show you. Here it be in the vise, right there. So I've taken a slice out just there and tightened that right up. I mean, this was really sloppy. In fact, the ball was nearly falling out, but now it's nice and tight in there. So when I weld this, it's going to shrink a little bit and it'll tighten up a bit more. So I will need to leave it just a little bit loose. So once it welds, it's going to tighten up. I'm going to do both ends of this. They're both absolutely poked. So I'm just going to get my weld rule sorted out and weld this back together, making sure I don't obviously weld the swivel in the middle, which will be not very good. Anyway, this is my plan, and this is how I'm saving money. So there's my little slot. I'm just going to get a little bit of weld going in there. Get rid of that bit of wire. Now, that's already tightened up. I'll just get something to put through there to see if I can move it. Hopefully we still can. Yes, we can. Look at that. So that's one done. So all I've got to do now is just clean it up with the grinder, and one end done. Now I shall get on with the other side, cutting that, and this top one will go in the sandblaster, prime painted, and that go on the tractor. There's our next one. I'll just cut that slot out, and I'm just going to give it a tap, and then I'll give it a squeeze in the vise. See, we need a bit more out there, I think. That might be alright. Like that. Just squeeze him up. Pretty good there. Just need to V that out a little bit, and then that'll be good. I should just give it a grind up. There we go. There's our little V where I can get my weld in now, and I'll just pop a bit of weld in there. and that's still moved, so that is another one done. There you go. So I've got to do that 4 more times, but on these, as I say, I'm going to chuck a grease nipple. Where are we? Get in focus. Yeah, so on these ones, I'm going to put a grease nipple in them because they do a lot of work. So that's that one done. Just need to clean up a sandblast, and there's the other one in it. So I'm just drilling these for a 1/4 tap. I bought a load of grease nipples off of Temu, funny enough, and I had all different sizes in there. So I reckon 1/4 should do us. Hopefully, I might have to go bigger drill bit than that. That's a 5. I might have to go 5.5. Where is me 5.5? Right there. But once we've welded this, then it means I can pump some grease in. And these little tractors are not, you know, I doubt if it's going to see work. It's just going to be showing off with. I mean, I might pull me grading blade around with it a little bit just for shits and giggles sort of thing. But so these will be quite adequate. But probably if you was working it hard again with ploughs and stuff on it, you'd just buy a new set. But as I say, we're not all made of money. It's just a cheap way of fixing what you've got, really. So that, I should just go and grab a grease nipple and try it in there. So there's our little 1/4 grease nipple, Temu, as I said. Let's just see if he goes in. Perfect. So I'll do that on the on all 4, then I'll cut them and slice them and make them fit. But that's good. So I shall do another one on the other side. And once I've got all 4 done, I'll start slicing and dicing. So one thing I have done on this one is I've drilled all the way through the bush in the middle as well. And the reason for that is grease will go in here and it will squirt around there. It'll also go through the pin, which is a good thing, isn't it? You know, because the pins always get seized up and you can't get the bloody things out. So it's probably going to help assist in, you know, pin removal eventually. But yeah, there you go, another one done. So this is our last one, and then I can start slicing and shrinking them up again. If they'd have done this from factory, I guess these might last a lot longer, because, you know, not that everybody does grease stuff where they're supposed to, but if there is a nipple there, it would have made it much, much easier. Right, that's that done. So that's 6 grease nipples that the originals didn't have. So there you go. It's going to be better than the original, isn't it? Now I shall start slicing that up. There we go. Here's our first bottom arm. There's our first bottom arm. And to move it, you have to use the hammer, which is good. That means it's nice and tight like a tiger. So I'll get the other end done now. Bit more surgery, isn't it? Right, so there you go. So that's a real simple, quick fix. If you've got a welder and a grinder, that is. If you haven't got a welder and a grinder, then you probably have to buy new ones. But for most of us tinkerers, normally have a arc welder or a MIG welder or something kicking around, and a grinder. So that is now all ready to be dressed up. I'll whack it in the sandblaster, then I shall prime and paint them, grease them up and throw them on a tractor, and then I can go and put my implement on, which will be bloody good fun. As I say, getting ready for the field days, which is the 19th to the 21st of this month, fielding at Manfield Park. So yeah, looking forward to it, aren't I? Anyway, I shall crack on and get these finished and on the tractor. So here's all our parts, all freshly out the paint booth, all done. Grease nipples are in, pumped a little bit of grease in already, all ready to go on the tractor. So first thing is I'm going to put a bit of grease on the pins, give it a fighting chance of coming off again. Blue grease looks lovely against the grey as well. What a contrast, beautiful. Nice bit of grease on them. Make sure I get them around the right way. So that one is this side. That one goes on there like that. Perfect. With its nut. Oh, I might find some washers. Be nicer with some big washers, wouldn't it? So I'll go and do that. And that one goes on there like that. That's right, isn't it? Yep, perfect. Right, then we go and find a couple of washers, big buggers. I've redone the gearbox as well, so that's all been through the bead blaster and painted. I will put a new grease nipple in it. 2 new grease nipples, in fact, because they look old and buggered. And I've just got to make another pin. I've only got 1 pin at the other tractor, so I shall make another one of those in a minute. But later on today, I can get on this, which is my grading blade, and I'll just show you that. This is a fantastic find. Hold on, let me come back. Yeah, so this is our little grading blade that well, I didn't find it, my brother found it, funny enough. Again, Mark was going through a Facebook marketplace and found this old girl. So it's an original Fergie one as well, and all I've done is straightened out some of these arms because they were bent. This arm was bent and this arm was bent, and the pivot arm was bent, but it's all straight now. I will eventually refurb it totally. I should get it sandblasted and cleaned up, and then give it a coat of epoxy and a coat of the, I think it's the Stoneleigh grey for this, which is the darker grey, which the implements were. So this will get the proper colour on it, and this will look really, really nice behind that brand new 75-year-old tractor, won't it? So there you go, that's them fitted to our lovely little grading blade. Nice, isn't it? So there we go. All the linkage is fitted, and it's all totally up and downable. Look at that. Perfect. Happy with that. Nice and tight. Everything works. Just need a few more pins, but I'll get them next week. But thanks for watching.